Now we get into the fun stuff, right? We've talked about some of the advanced kind of bidding modules and just setup of the accounts and structure of them, but now we actually get into the optimization, right? So we get to actually look at an account that has some data in it and just go through and kind of go through my process about, what levels I'm going to look at first and layer it down, and then what reports I look at, and just my problem solving and kind of decision structure that I go through in order to optimize accounts, right? And, again, this is going to kind of vary for, whatever kind of campaigns you have in the account, to be quite honest with you. But I chose Thrive's account just because they have a really great mix of, top, middle, and bottom funnel interaction. And they also do, search and then some retargeting as well. And then also YouTube ads in there. So a really great example of somebody that is utilizing their campaign at a great, they're utilizing, all different formats and all different networks on the Google ecosphere, I guess, and being able to kind of tie those all in together in order for their ultimate goal of scheduling a call, right? Their goal at the end of the day isn't necessarily a sale. It's more getting that lead, right? So they're a lot of the lines of what majority of my customers are, where they're just trying to get, that prospect in front of them, right? They still have that very physical representation of people, or of their company, I should say. And, but their closing process and their even information process a lot of times results from a face-to-face conversation, exactly like it's happening over web chat. So the whole point of kind of their process or their campaign is about getting that lead, right? Now, this can be the same thing followed with what you're talking about with any sort of e-commerce campaign. You're just going to take it probably a step further, where once you gather that information, you're just going to start retargeting them more with, what pages they visited on the site and so on, and what products they visited the site and so on. And, with the upsells, especially, you're going to go back with complementary products. And that's how we're going to, really going to be the main difference between what we're going to look at today and then any e-commerce strategy that would be out there is, you're just going to be able to close that sale online, where, Thrive, they do it in very person-to-person basis, but that's part of their brand, right? So that's where you really need to kind of go back to what we've taught in lesson 1, 2, and 3, and, look at yourself from an overall company perspective and, deciding, right, are we going to have a completely automated process and, where there isn't a whole bunch of human interaction, or there isn't that, relationship aspect of the sale, or are we going to have that very, kind of going forward where we're just going to build trust and loyalty in the products and not really have any physical contact with the customer or any, I guess, conversational contact with them, right? So those are kind of really how you're going to assign your steps as well. So we're just going to go through this account and kind of look at some of the things that we can do within the account for specific optimizations, right? We've got data in here. We've launched this, Ritus knows what his customer is. They know where their experience is. So a lot of their campaign, the way it's been built out, is based off of what they perceive as their target audience. And we're going to go through today and kind of see how that's working out for them. And then pick out some reports and pick out some other metrics that maybe they can improve on in order to, find new audiences or more efficiently target lead the audience they have to bring down some of those costs, right? At the end of the day, they're very much about that reinvestment. And to be able to reinvest back in their company, you need to make sure you're maximizing your ad spend and maximizing profits, right? So you can have that money back in your pocket to reinvest in your company. So that's kind of the objective of what this optimization is about. It's about how making this more efficient so that we can help them grow, right? And they can scale out beyond that. So first of all, what I'm going to look at is I'm going to just go to all campaigns, right? Let me downsize myself here so I can be put over here in the corner. Now I'm going to look at all campaigns. I'm just going to kind of look at, if I have a limited amount of time, then obviously what I'm going to look at is, okay, if we're looking at over the last 7 days, we spent the most under the CC schedule call, right? And, that actually happens to be the Google search campaign. So, it's really good. We get to reference that because that's going to be relevant for the majority of us. If you haven't taken the Accelerated program yet, or you're not too far through it, I should say. So the other thing I'm going to do is a lot of times I'm going to go ahead and do a comparison, all right? Just so I can kind of see, okay, have they made any changes within the account at all? Have they done anything? Well, it's pretty stable. Their YouTube ads have gone down a little bit. And we'll dive into YouTube and kind of see some improvements there as well during this exercise. But first of all, the one I'm going to go to is I'm going to go to this CC schedule call, right? I'm going to look at this, be like, okay, we're looking at, overall cost per conversion has went up a little bit. Overall cost, went up a little bit as well. So they're averaging about, over this time period, just about one conversion a week. Let's go look at the ads now, right? And I'm literally just going to go down this tree, right? I'm going to look at, ad groups. Okay, where am I looking at? Which one should I focus on? Well, they only have one ad group in here, right? So, we'll address that here in a second when we get down to keywords and targeting. But, ads and extensions. Let's see what they've got in here, right? We've only got one ad, right? So the first thing that I would recommend to do is, again, to put additional messaging in there, right? We produce online courses, right? Put a question in there. Hey, are you looking to produce an online course? All right, I'm actually going to copy this. And then we just basically copy that, right? And you're going to change the headline. So let's actually look at the ad text in here as well. All right, we'll look at edit. So Thrive Course Studio. So, one thing you would definitely add in here, right? Share your expertise. Right? That's just something to kind of help push forward what that message is, right? Like as they read down through within this ad, right? It's going to say, we produce online courses, write, film, and launch. Right? Then they have to they're going to have to read the URL. So why not utilize that space for either, courses, right? Share your expertise, share your passion, right? Would be another one that would be kind of cool to put in there, right? And that way it lets the user understand more what that we produce online courses is, right? Now, hopefully by the time that they're engaged with your search ads, that you're understanding that, they're looking for an online course. And we'll cover his targeting here in a second. They've done a really good job of making sure their keywords are very specific to either people who produce online courses or, our online courses, like make your own online course, film your online course, stuff like that. So there shouldn't be too much mix up, but you can use this space to just kind of put more value and put more information about what you're pushing out there, right? You could be build your course. Right? These spaces, they're going to be utilized for more quality score aspects of things, right? So if you put additional keywords in there that are going to help the relevance, you're going to increase your quality score, right? It's going to bring down your costs there. So we always want to do that, right? These, schedule consultation, call now and see how we can help you, right? He's got another 29 characters that they can use here. Schedule a consultation, speak with our experts now, right? Like you can have multiple call to actions throughout your campaign. Stop trying to do everything yourself. Let our team create a course that that you are proud of, right? That's true. The other thing that I'm going to do a lot of times, and you're going to notice this with any of my ads that we're going to write, and I would definitely recommend this, is capitalize the first word of each word, right? Now, on major words, I should say, right? If it's, schedule A should be capitalized, C should be capitalized, call now. And I'm going to use the ampersand sign, right? In that, because I can utilize the ampersand sign and save some space there, right? And then we see how we can help, right? I'm going to basically make sure all this is capitalized. And we talked about how to use the tool, right? The editor, and in that training, how you can utilize the capitalization to go through here so you don't have to do all this work, right? But I'm going to make that pop, right? I want that ad to really pop and show exactly like I've done within the headline. I'm going to repeat within my description, right? They've done a good job of doing it up here. I'm just going to carry that forward to here, as in the actual text as well. URL options as well. You really want to put your tracking in here as well. Make sure you have some URLs that are specific to your keywords, so you can just kind of, write us is just like within his video that I'm going to show you in a second. I mean, he's on the verge of a crazy ass industry, right? This is $250 billion industry is what it's looking to grow to, or $1 million. And, so that's going to be $1 billion industry in no time. And it's, those are one of those things where as you grow, you want to make sure that you have that data, because the data doesn't go away, right? And something you do a year from now or 2 years from now can be very, very much influenced by something you're doing now, right? Because that data will tell you that story. And again, we get so ingrained in our businesses and we get so ingrained in even our ad accounts that sometimes we forget what we do. So, having ledgers of what you've tracked back, but then also having, very specific URLs to help with that tracking process, to make sure that you're identifying what keywords are working, what ad groups are working, what ad text, what targeting, all that stuff is, it's good to have that data where it's very hyper segmented when you're looking at it in analytics, in order to make sure that you're truly getting, a good picture of what is out there and what's working, right? And that way, you can do it at the ad level, you can do it at, the account level, but I would definitely recommend, depending on how big you're scaling, right? This is going to be, he's in a huge industry. So definitely be a good recommendation, for them to have within their account so that they can track back to it. All right. And we've talked about, doing some simple, things, but again, utilize the space that you have, right? So headline 3, that's new. So I don't, they may not have updated the account, may not have been writing ads in here very recently, but you're definitely going to put a headline 3 in there. I would put even this, we write, film, and go, visit now, or schedule a call. To play with the call to action there, but you definitely want to include the 3rd. And the other thing, again, like we talked about within the ad section portion, right? You're definitely going to want to vary your headlines, right? Have something. We produce online courses. It's a very, very straightforward something. And then something looking to produce an online course, right? Have you produced your online course yet? He does a great job within his videos talking about this. You want to have your text ads relate a lot of that messaging that you're pushing out within your additional content, right? Remind them, hey, because again, a lot of the stuff you're also going to remarket with as well. Hey, you're still trying to produce a course, right? Still, I do a lot of questions because they catch people off guard. It forces them to think oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Actually, that's something I need to think about. Or, it's something that's curiosity. How, take advantage of this fast growing industry. Are you involved in the 250 plus $1 billion or $1 million industry? Right. Do those kind of inquisitive type of headlines to go along with your, more kind of explanation headline or branded headline, and also put something in there like Thrive Core Studios as your, a brand. Visit Thrive, discover Thrive Core Studios, right? Something that is there. Those are just some variations that you're going to want to put in there as your headlines. And again, Google they optimize these for you, right? So they're going to decide based off of the performance of it, like your CTR and your cost per click, exactly which ad is performing the best, and it's going to show it the most, right? So, I always encourage people to have multiple variations of their ads in there, because the worst case scenario is Google just stops showing it. Right? You should always continue to update those. And I don't really ever delete a lot of my ads either, right? Because Google will just stop showing them on my behalf. But say there's something that all of a sudden, some tagline or some key phrase that I use within my ad becomes back in, newsworthy, or filters back into the news cycle, then that ad could honestly come back around if it becomes more relevant. The likelihood of that happening, I'm going to be quite honest with you, isn't very freaking likely, because of just the CTR is what commands it the most, right? And if your CTR gets down below and you have another one that is, you've got basically a 5% compared to a 1%, it's always going to show that 5%. And it'd take you a long ass time to get that out of there. So, within this ad, the main things we're going to do to improve performance on this is, write additional ones, right? We're going to maybe, again, write a third headline in this. We're going to take advantage of this display path so we can utilize it to provide more keyword relevance and more information for that user to see on the other side. I'm also going to capitalize, all the first word or first letter in each one of these as well, right? This, I'm going to leave the W, silent. Like there's certain words that they look kind of weird, like to, capitalizing the T in to. I'm probably going to leave that, right? Still trying, like, this is a good, I'll rewrite this one. So let our team create a course that you are probably going to leave out there. Do that. That you are proud of, right? Make it pop. Like there's some of these, an A, since it's typically capitalized, I'll go ahead and capitalize that. But, let our team create a course that you are proud of, right? And that's kind of how I'll flow it. And it pops, makes it more, it still maintains the, the sentence structure and the way it looks. And, I'm always, depending on what I'm trying to do and how relevant this ad is or how many, how big I'm going to grow, I'm also going to put some tracking level templates in here as well to kind of identify, hey, this is the ad that was the question mark. Right? You can never have enough data, and it takes just a few more seconds just to kind of go ahead and put these in here and make sure you're addressing that, right? Yes, I want to leave, so we don't want to reset that, because one thing you need to keep in mind is anytime you save an ad, regardless if you made changes to it, I could literally go in here, click on that and hit save, and it's going to send it back into review. Okay, so keep that in mind as you're going through and you're making these adjustments within your ad and you're creating new ads. So next thing I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at his extensions, right? So what do they have in here? They have a book a call, right? Well, the other thing I'm going to do is, I'm definitely going to make that pop, right? Book a call now. Make it stand out. Make it as big as possible and as clear as day to visualize, right? Because that's what you really want. You want these people just popping, right? The other thing that I'm going to do is add Sitelinks. Let's kind of look at his course. I mean, he's got some really good, their point is to book the call within this. So it's one of those things. Like, I'm honestly going to also put a book a call on there, but I'm going to send them to this page right here, right? So I'm going to do Sitelinks. I'm going to do the first site link as being book a call. And then I'm going to put additional information on there, such as, our testimonials, the course calculator I'm going to put on there, and even just probably the about, right? Those would be my four site links, because they can't be the homepage. You can't just send them to the homepage. But the first one that I'm going to put in there, right, is my schedule, my call. Next one I'm going to put in there is the testimonial. Then I'm going to put the course calculator and about, right? The about is going to be the fourth in the line, because I want them to look down through all that, right? I want them to first off have the opportunity to schedule a phone call, book a phone call with me right now, right? If you want to, before you have to go waste your time and read all this stuff or anything, just get me on the phone. I'll tell you all about it, right? That's the opportunity. And then, well, if you don't, not quite ready to talk, okay, cool. Well, check out some of our testimonials, right? This is what will really be valuable to you and what other people are saying about Thrive. And then I'm going to put that money issue in there, right? The course sales calculator. I want them thinking about how much money they can earn off their course. So that's what I'm going to do that. And then ultimately the fourth call extension or site link in there, if I'm going to do one, right? You could just do 3, but the site links are about taking up more real estate. They're about pushing your competitor further down the page, right? And so I'm going to put that probably the about in there too. So I have 4 of them in there, right? It shows up, pushes my competitor down the page. It has a calculated strategy as far as the flow from left to right. It's right. They're going to go down here. They're going to be like, oh, shit. Okay, schedule call. Oh, not quite ready to schedule call. And then to the right, you either put the course calculator or you put the testimonials, right? It's something that needs to relate back to, like, this is the value they're going to get, either a monetary value or just people that are doing the social recognition and kind of, process of validating Thrive's ability, right? And then the final thing, it needs to be about, right? Like, we've already seen kind of a little bit of the about, but if they want to go all through those site links, then I'm going to do that. And how you do that, again, just go in here, do some site links. Where's my site links? Add account site links. That's kind of weird. So apparently I can't open it up because it's in that top menu. But right, so like we're gonna do schedule a call. Book a call. We want to maintain that same thing, right? Book a call. You write your ad here, right? Same thing. Like talk with one of our experts now. Discover your options today. Contact us, right? We talked about the strategy with this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to go testimonial. I want some validation, right? Portfolio in here. Like it already has some of them in here, but I'm just going to reorder them because there's a certain way that I want them to show up, right? As you see over here to the right, is I still want that book a call to be in there. I still want that to be the ultimate format, right? At the end of the day, like if we can get somebody on the phone, if we can get that lead, that's going to be, you know, a much better opportunity than going to our website and figuring that out, right? If you see from these guys, you know, face and their passion and how they work, right? That's what sold me whenever they started to help me create this. I'll be quite honest with you. And that's one of the things as well is, you know, the majority of people are passionate about their business. They are passionate about the product they sell, about the service. And if you're somebody that's actually taking in leads or calls, then, you know, you better be passionate about it, right? Because if you're not passionate about your business, whoever's trying to buy from you is not going to be passionate about it either, right? But that's why, you know, these guys are really, really good at this is because they get excited about their work. They get excited about it. So it's not, they're a much better sales tool than any website really is going to be. So, you know, move these to your strengths, right? If you're not really good on the phone, if you can't sell people, then take them definitely through the information and research phase with more site stuff. With these guys, that's what they're good at, fucking right. So, you know, and as if you're talking about somebody, whether you're talking about this, taking this course as a business owner, or you're taking this course as somebody that's, you know, going to start your own agency and looking to improve your skill sets, then, you know, that's what you're going to have to evaluate from either the people who are answering the phone for you or, you know, your own skills in answering the phone, or even the people that you're actually taking on as clients, right? Can they handle phone calls? Can they be trained to do that? I used to laugh so much when I would talk to people about I'd be like asking them, hey, what's your website conversion rate? You know, how many, you know, if you get a phone call, how many do you close? Oh man, I close every single one. How many of them do you miss? Oh, I never miss a phone call. Okay. And then we'd run their campaigns and they're missing 75, 80, not 80% of the phone calls. Right. And even then they're still only able to close maybe one out of 10. So, you know, people, once you put metrics behind what people are actually doing, they get a little better visualization of how their overall marketing campaigns and skill sets play into their marketing efforts, right? So I know these guys, this plays really, really well with them. So that's why I'm kind of setting it up in this order, right? And then this would be the course calculator. Later. And then this bottom is this about, right? Like I said, I want that at the very bottom. I want them to be able to, you know, the last thing. First, book a call, right? This contact us page, right? This is the testimonials. And I need my validation, man. I need my social proof. I need to understand and trust these guys because maybe I'm not ready to book a call yet, right? Maybe once they see the testimonials, then they'll jump on there and book a phone call. Or once they see the course calculator, then they'll book the phone call, right? you're playing into the psychology of how your users are going to flow, right? They need that validation, they need that trust from other users, and then they need to understand what the money is, right? You talk about it in your video, you talk about, Rita says all about the $250 million industry. Okay, cool. Well, what does that look like to me for me to take advantage of it, right? He's got that value in there. And that's why this flows goes down through this, right? So, the Sitelinks is definitely one I'm going to put on there. The other one that I'm also going to pull, like the call extension doesn't really work really well. These message extensions, I'm going to still try and prompt people more to the lead stuff, because you're dealing more with an email marketing campaign with the message extensions. With this particular campaign, these guys, their point of their funnel and the goal of their, marketing is to get people on the phone so that they can sell them. Like, they need to have a conversation with them and see if, they're a good fit to work as a team. So having message extensions, not so great. Call extensions, not really going to work out great for them, because again, they don't have a dedicated sales team that's just ready to pick up the phone all the time, right? Location extensions, I'm not really going to go great with those. The app or price extensions, not so much. We want to be able to price them on the phone after we build value. So you're not going to want to push your price out there right off the bat, right? But, one of these promo extensions, right, you could potentially do if sales are down low for these guys, right? Or if they want to really do some special that is more around, let's say, Christmas or anything along those lines. But the ones they're really going to use is these structured snippets, right? Because they're going to also push and build value here. So again, you're just basically going to put these in here. So, all right, they just put their value in what they create, right? Right. Film, produce. Okay. Now you can add additional stuff in there to give additional value. The main ones that I would recommend for Thrive is basically it's going to be the site links. So site links are going to be the ones that are going to push them down the page. They can still do that same goal that they've been trying to do with the call out extension for the book a call. And I'm also going to make sure I'm making it bold, right? Bolding that first headline within that, or first letter within each of the words, is going to be very, very important to make sure that, it's making it pop within the customer. So landing page, again, because we're utilizing the strategy of booking the phone call as a call out and utilizing the call or the site link extensions in there, landing page can be fine with Thrive Core Studios. That can be your home page, right? And then I'm just going to work my way down here, right? I'm going to go basically to my keywords, and let's see what they are, right? Teachable, create online courses, selling online courses, building online courses, online course production. Let's get rid of all the ones that aren't enabled, right? I'm always only going to look at the ones that are enabled. How to create online courses, who creates online courses, onlines, course productions, developer, creator. So, a lot of their theme within this, as you can see, a lot of it is online courses, right? Online courses, online courses, online courses, making online courses, online course software, how to film online courses. So their theme is, more about online. Technically they could, if they really, really wanted to get very granular with their messaging, you could build an ad group out for how to, because you have one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 how-to keywords, right? And then online course, selling online courses, creating online courses, online course creator, online course software, production, right? So there's a couple different themes that they could potentially go with, right? And what this is more about is it's more about breaking it down just for, tighter messaging, right? So you can have campaigns that are they're just basically, tighter in what it is. The other thing is I'm going to recommend is I would definitely recommend to put some broad match modified keywords in here, right? So, right, and this will create a lot of stuff for them. Right, maybe we just put in like create online course, create my own online course. So see how I left off my own, because that's going to be, it's going to be too tight, right? When I'm broad match modifying 5 different words within a stream of keywords, it just gets way too tight. It's too many, it won't run basically, right? So what I'm going to look at here is I'm going to look at the stuff that's not valuable, right? What is the absolute paramount that I need for people to look at, right? Well, if I put in online courses as just the paramount, or the vital terms, I should say, then I'm going to get fucking online courses for everything. And unfortunately, I'm also going to be, there's no relevance to creating, right? It's going to literally be, I'm going to fall in line with everybody who's trying to sell their online course. And that's a ridiculous amount of traffic and a ridiculous amount of shit to get caught up in, right? See how it's got Udemy online courses, right? Online teaching courses, online course, right? This you don't want to show up with, right? That's just something you want to stay the hell away with, right? You want stuff to fall more in line with this. So that's why I'm putting create online course. That's what's valuable, right? I need to find people that are looking to create an online course. Online course creator. All right, I'm gonna throw these keywords in here because the broad match modifies is going to allow you to be exposed to a much wider audience. And again, it's whenever, if they type in, I want to create my online course, and you just have create online course in there as a phrase match keyword, you're not going to show up for that customer. And that's a fucking valuable customer, right? So you really need to make sure that whenever you're going through and you're creating your keyword lists, and also you're doing the optimization after you go in here and see, right? Like, I'm not sure like of the overall volume, it's a huge industry, right? But the industry the traffic is going to be hard it's going to overlap a lot, right? Between the negatives and the non-negatives, or the keywords, right? Because online courses, you're going to find a lot of people that are looking to create, teach, learn from, build online course certification, Google online course certification, Facebook online course certification, right? You're dealing with some of the most popular topics that are out there right now. And in some of the largest growth industries as well, people are always looking to build their skills. So online courses, he needs to be very, very tight with what he looks at. And that's why, building something that it's like, hey, online course creator, right? If I'm looking like I need to find an online course creator, online, online horse riding course creator, right? Online race car driving course creator. Like, that's a valuable term, right? But if I have online course creator in there as a phrase match, I'm going to miss out on those terms. So those are the type of things why I'm always going to try and I'm going to do phrase match in there, just because if I can match it up to a phrase, then the quality score is going to be much higher than matching to online course creator, right? As opposed to matching to a phrase match of online course creator. The quality score is going to improve. I'm going to pay lower cost. But I always want to make sure that I'm showing up for like online digital course creator, right? Online Google Ads course creator, right? Like if I would have been Googling that, Ritus would have never showed up in front of me. And so you always want to make sure that you're using the broad match. I don't ever, there's a lot of agencies that I've worked with that they'll say to use, a broad match, phrase match, and an exact match version of it. Exact match is only after you've really determined that there's a bunch of value in it, right? If you're getting a bunch of, traffic on, this keyword as an exact match, then yeah, throw it in there because it's only going to improve your quality score, right? Lower your cost. So, just as far as some optimizations that I would do with this particular campaign, just to put in there right away to see how they would work, I'd throw in these 3 test keywords, and then also your other valuable keywords, right? Like teachable as a broad match modified keyword, just to see what it looks like, right? What is it? How is it testing compared to teachable? Do I get a higher CTR? Do I pay lower costs, right? Selling online courses, right? If I want to do definitely selling online courses, right? Now, I don't want to exclude any type of online course. And if we're most people that are going to be Googling, selling online courses, or I want to start selling online digital courses, online homeschooling courses, online computer courses, right? Most people are going to have some sort of identifier or adjective it's not really an adjective, basically a core theme of what type of course they're looking to sell, right? So that's why these broad match modifiers are going to work so well within this particular field, while making sure we also reduce a shit ton of irrelevant traffic, because we're not putting in there stuff just as the broad match modified of online course or online courses, right? Or online school or certification, something like that, right? So, I'm definitely going to throw that in there. As we go into, let's just jump to the search terms real quick. First off, I'm going to look at, right? We looked at one of his most highest traffic keywords first, right? So we have teachable is what it is. So let's go to the search terms. Let's see what teachable is racking up here. Right at the top, because I kind of want to. I always want to see what keyword actually it's matching to, right? So where we're getting the most stuff is online course creator. We got 4 clicks. Last 7 days. Let's look in the last 14 days. I'm always going to look at different variables or different date ranges within here. How to create an online course for free. Fuck free. You might put in there as free as a negative. Depends on how much money you're spending, right? You might. There's several strategies that you might employ with that, right? If somebody is doing a lot of free searches, maybe go back and hit them with that video. Right, it does a great video. Like, have you created your online course yet? Well, let us help you, right? That might be a good video to retarget to people that are utilizing free kind of. But I might make a video about that actually first to try and filter it down. But this online course, right? It's got it in there as an exact match. They added it, as you see, so that's good. These have great CTRs here. Create online courses, teachable courses, create online course.